Okay, so as the title of the video says, free equipment giveaway. So I'm plugging along trying to get this electronics course going. I can only apologize that it's not up and running yet. It's being worked on the website. I'm hoping it can get that. I got to actually get in town and get with the woman that's doing the website for me for some site design and how to get things set up for that. It's coming along. It's like I said, I can only apologize. So kind of, I guess you could say, as a please forgive me gift, I'm offering a free piece of equipment for somebody. Now I'm actually going to get with a buddy, find out whatever that little program. I'm sure I can just do a Google search and find a bunch of them, but there's a little software programs, or you can go online and there's systems where they'll do random selections of YouTube posts to pick a winner. So it's going to be completely random. The only thing I'm going to say is, the person, because I'm sure there's going to be people commenting in this video that don't want or need the scope. So, in the first couple words, you need to put in, or actually let's just make it enter giveaway. The first two, if you want this gift, the first two words in your post need to be enter giveaway. So put that way when I do the raffle drawing, if it picks somebody's comment, whoever it picks, if the first two words of your comment aren't enter giveaway, you're not going to get the giveaway. And the giveaway is not an empty bag. There is a bag here. You are going to get this. This is a very nice, it's kind of like a soft hard case. I mean, it is a soft case, but it's actually very, very rigid. You're going to get this. There's actually nothing in it at the moment. The freebie is actually sitting behind it. So enough jibber jabber, what are you going to get? A 70 megahertz 2-channel oscilloscope. So I've had this thing for Lord knows how long. I actually used to use it at one point in time. And it's just been collecting, well, I can't say it's even been collecting dust because it's been in its nice padded little case, which is what I got it in. I think I got this used. I don't remember buying this new, but I had so many oscilloscopes. This thing's just been sitting for a few years, and I'm honestly probably never, ever going to use it again. Now, if you want to enter the giveaway for this, do me a favor. Please be somebody that actually needs a scope. If you already have a scope, I can only ask, just be honest. I'm trying to get this to hopefully to somebody that wants to take the electronics course, doesn't have an oscilloscope. Here's the perfect scope for you. Like I say, this is 70 megahertz, so if you want to work on radios, especially like CB radios, this is the perfect scope for you, because CB's in 27 megahertz band, 2 times that free. Ideally, if you're buying an oscilloscope to use to work on radios, ideally, its frequency should be 2 times the highest frequency of whatever you're going to work on. So 27 megahertz times 2 would be 54 megahertz. Well, this does 70 megahertz, so it's well above. Now, this will actually display very easily up to 100 megahertz. But for proper viewing, especially when you're looking at like modulated waveform packages, and there's just a lot of times, you really need that 2 times the frequency of for the instrumentation. So I have this set up right now. I'm just pumping two signals out of the signal generator right there. So a 100 kilohertz sine wave and a arbitrary. I'll get that out. Arbitrary waveform on channel 2. So you can see it works. What it's going to include is the scope, the bag, 2 oscilloscope probes. I'm pretty sure these are the ones that actually came with it, and they're actually pretty nice. They have really good feeling probes. They're not like some of them where they have a hard plastic cover. These are actually almost rubbery, so they're nice and flexible. The 2 probes come with it, and that's pretty much it. But power cord, Lord knows where the original power cord was, so I've got box fulls of brand new power cord, so I'm sticking a new power cord with it. It's a good working scope, as you can see. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Actually, we just turn off channel 2 there, and this even has the auto set. So for those of you that have a hard time fiddling with controls, in a worst case scenario, you can always hit the auto set button. Now, it doesn't work every time, especially if you get really oddball waveforms. Sometimes the auto set may have a hard time locking on, especially the trigger. You may need to go in and do manual adjustments, and you're going to learn that just from using oscilloscopes. Once you become confident using a scope, I think a lot of times you'll find yourself using the auto set feature less and less and less. So let's pump the signal up on this. Like I say, this is only 100 kilohertz I've got going into this rate at the moment. So let's really give this thing a good signal. So let's channel 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a megahertz. If we go to, let's just make it 50 megahertz. Oop, too far. You can see there's 50 megahertz, and we'll go to 70 megahertz, which is the bandwidth of the oscilloscope. So there's 70 megahertz. Now, you'll see that we can actually exceed that, because you can see I can keep moving it out. So there, I've got the time base set out as far as I can go, and you can see that actually exceeds one full waveform. Even if I go to 100 megahertz input, you'll see, you can still see the waveform. That's at 100 megahertz. You can see down here it has a little built-in counter. And that's another thing you'll find. Scopes like this, the little counters that they have built into them, don't depend on that on being 100% accurate. It's only as a use as a guide. So, when you're looking at something, you can go, is that, 1 megahertz or 1.5 megahertz or something, because you can see it's actually showing 99.9967 megahertz. That's actually, because that signal generator is attached to a rubidium GPS locked or disciplined oscillator, so I know the signal coming out of that is accurate to 10 to the minus 14, so guaranteed that's the frequency coming out of that is perfect. So yeah, the counter is off a little bit, but like I say, you'll actually find most of these lower end scopes, they're never 100% on. Like I say, they're only used as basically as a guide. But you can see there's 100 megahertz. Now, you'll notice that the amplitude shrank, and that's what happens. Once you exceed that bandwidth limit on your oscilloscope, it can no longer take accurate measurements. It'll start to plummet, and if I go up even higher in frequency, it'll just keep getting smaller and smaller. Where if I go back to where, let's say to 50 megahertz, you'll see the increase. You can see that the amplitude has increased. That's because it's now back in the bandwidth that what the scope is actually supposed to be used at. So, but there you go. So I'm going to have the, actually, what the heck would that date be? Heck, what is today? Today's what? November the 26th. We'll make the drawing on next Sunday. So that would be, what? December the 3rd. So, December the 3rd in the evening, I'm going to say somewhere probably around, 8 o'clock, I guess, in the evening. I'll do a drawing, I'll video it, and then upload that video. But to announce the winner of the GW Instech, and GW Instech, in case you're not familiar with it, stands for Goodwill Industries. So that's, Goodwill Industries, or for short, GW Instech. It's a model GDS 1072A-U, digital storage oscilloscope. And yeah, it's a memory prime, 2 meg memory built in. So yes, this does have some other fancy features. Now, I do not have an owner's manual. Well, actually, I'll have to look. I probably printed that out. I'm actually pretty good at that. Anytime I get something that doesn't have the owner's manual, I always print it out to have on file. So I probably have. I'll have to check. Can't promise. That I'll like I say, I'll check. If not, I know they're online. You can download it. Probably what I'll do is I'll just, if I don't already have one printed out for this, I'll just go ahead and print it out and spiral bind it for the winner. So yes, a owner's manual will be included with it. So it's like I say, nice working little scope. Get the cables unhooked here. Just show you, it's small, very compact little guy. Of course, it has the normal little handles. You pull out on the handles and you can rotate it around. But lay my hand, you can see. Come on, get my camera back here so it's out of the way. Lay my hand there, you can see it's not like it's an extremely deep scope. Doesn't take up a lot of room. And actually, it's Pretty quiet. I don't think. Yeah, just sitting here because actually that signal generator up there, that Rigel signal generator, makes more noise than the fan in this oscilloscope, and this oscilloscope's 3 times closer to me than that signal generator up there. So yeah, this actually has a very quiet fan. But there's the bottom side, and this does not have little flip feet like a lot of the like the Rigels and whatnot do. If you want to tilt this thing up, you actually use the handle. The handle acts as a kickstand. Actually, kind of like your older oscilloscopes, actually like something like that. Back in the day, that was the carrying handle was actually the kickstand for old scopes like that, and that's just kind of what they did with this one. So, there you go. Like I say, if you want to, you can look up the specs online for that. I'm not sure. They may even make this thing. I'm not sure. But, like I say, nice working scope. I really have no use for it. I actually watched Buddy's giveaway video this evening of the, he's giving away the little frequency counter to somebody. And I thought, man, I've got, just wait, I've sent a bunch of free stuff to Buddy before, test equipment, and some other people that I know. But I thought, maybe I could find a happy home for this. Hopefully somebody that's going to be taking the, like I said, basic electronics course I'm going to be doing. If you already have a scope, please don't enter. Let somebody that maybe financially can't afford to buy a scope. This will really help out somebody like that. I'd really hate to see something like this go to somebody that already, like me, already has shelves full of oscilloscopes. So try and keep it honest. Think about the little guy. I'm trying to make this for the little guy. Somebody that can't afford one. Hopefully a youngster. Just getting into electronics, this would be a perfect scope. I mean, like I say, this is actually better than what most people, as a kid, what you would start out with. You'd get an old rag, beat-up CRT style scope, but yeah, this thing's, it's a cheap digital scope, but it actually works pretty well, because like I say, I actually used to use this myself. I've got so much better scopes now, I just don't need it anymore. So, there you go. I'll quit flapping my gums, come back to view the giveaway, drawing next Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, which would be, what did I say that was, the 3rd of December, and see if you're the lucky winner. Now, shipping for this, I will include free shipping to the continental United States, so the continuous 48 states. If you're outside, if you're in like Alaska or Puerto Rico or something like that, shipping's going to be on you as with the rest of the planet. So I'm willing to ship this thing anywhere on the face of the planet. But you're going to have to pay for shipping yourself. I will pay for shipping in the continental United States. Will be shipped FedEx ground insured. So, and then once the winner is drawn, we'll get in contact with each other, and I can get your shipping information and everything. And then we'll get this little critter shipped out to you. If the drawing's on Sunday, it would be the next month, that Monday. So the 4th of December, this would actually ship out, and anywhere in the continental United States, you would have this before the end of the week. So. Enter, take a chance, you never know, you might get yourself a free scope. Onto the video, I stand corrected. Well, like I said, I always print the manuals out usually for stuff. Actually, I do have the original stuff. It only came with a brochure like most equipment does nowadays. They always want you to go online or, the manual. So I actually had the original CD for it and all the other paperwork for it. So that's included and the hard copy. So yes, if you do win this, you'll actually get the original paperwork that came with the scope. It's been so many years since I saw it, I couldn't remember if I had it. And the actual printed, I actually went ahead and printed out the manual. So yeah, all the fancy features, the memory, and how to do everything. You'll be able to actually go through this, and everything's included. So just wanted to amend the video a little bit, and then to inform you that yes, all the original paperwork plus a printed out copy of the manual is included.